Hi, I'm Sanidhya. I'm the co-founder and CEO of DashReel. We run a short drama app called DashReels. Currently, the app is only launched in India, where we are riding on the short drama wave and trying to bring this format that originated in China to the users in India. We also run a supply side creator app, which is Frameo.ai. And we are also trying to mix short drama with artificial intelligence and make one-person or two-person studios who can create short dramas and tell their stories out to the world. It's been a couple of months since I entered into this space, but it's super exciting. It has got a lot of traction from the users, so we are very excited about the future.
Can you tell me more about the Dash Reel?
Yeah, so DashReel, honestly, it's not very different from any other short drama app at the moment. And we have launched it 2 months back. Initially, DashReel's library is in Indian languages for the Indian consumers, but it also has a lot of Southeast Asian exported content, especially short dramas from China, that we have dubbed into Indian languages. And people are responding great to it. Uh, Going forward, our goal is to really be a two-sided marketplace and be a platform where creators can create their short dramas either through live action production, but mostly I believe it's going to use AI a lot. Laptops are the new cameras. You have to be a creative storyteller, but a lot can be executed if you have a great story in mind and you understand the capabilities that you could use the new medium. So let's see where it goes. I believe users and the consumers of short drama need a lot of content and they need a lot of diversity. And there is not one company or one studio who could bring in or generate so much content. So it has to be collective. The industry has to grow on its own. And I feel today, at least in India, supply is a major problem. We don't get so much diversity yet. That is where our focus is going to be in the couple of months. What different kind of genres, what different kind of content can be built into this format? Can it be as broad as the movie industry or the television industry or the OTT industry is? But I feel short drama is that is the first goal to reach there. But I think it's going to get broader than that, right? And it has to be how text industry is, how easy it is to write your stories in a text format and publish, right? And the imagination has no limit of what you could write because you write a sci-fi story or you write a romance drama. It doesn't restrict you, right? But when it goes to visual production, uh, the cost and the complication changes a lot. And that is why you see today's short drama kind of fit in a typical stereotype that this is the kind of content I can produce, and I have a restriction of time, I have a restriction of the real estate because it is mobile film, so it has to be like vertical always. So what I can do with it, uh, what I'm excited about most is what more can happen over here. Can these become like, high fantasies? Can it have very high production value? And how can technology enable that? So this is what we want to see going forward in short dramas.
You just mentioned increase the diversity of short dramas. How can you increase the diversity?
Yeah, I think the biggest limiting factor into why diversity is it does not exist so much as of now is the production budgets, right? End of the day, creative people who are producing content need to make their money back, right? And if you invest too much amount, you go bankrupt after producing a few short dramas. So you have to always think of it like a business and how any media industry is. And what I think is technology will actually enable it, right? Because there are so many things that can be created using the latest technology, which is not so expensive. So it might be a mix of both, like some shots are reduced from shots from camera. These are live action. But there are few things that you can use technology for it. So it might be a mix of it and stuff like that. But VFX traditionally has been very expensive. and that is the reason not so much of content is not created in diverse genre. Also, beyond that, I feel so short drama originated from China, right? And China consumers like certain kind of content, right? But globally, people also like different kind of content, right? So if I talk about India, crime stories are pretty big genre, right? And people love to consume crime fiction or true crime and all those kind of content, which I don't think so people consume so much in China. So, though the format originated here, I think every expansion into a different geography will enable new genres coming and absorbed by this format. So that is what we are interested in doing and seeing and exploring.
Are you gonna make some original Indian true crime dramas or help those creators who use AI to create?
So I think AI comes later. First, we have to understand that how to write it for it, right? How the screenplay works. Because people consume short dramas on the go. They do not want a very high cognitive load into consuming them. So how to really write a story in this format where they are a bite-sized episode. So we are working with a lot of writers. We have created multiple writer rooms, and currently we are brainstorming because even before AI, you have to understand the script and how the script will be different from OTT or a television or a movie, right? So that's where we are working on. Once we get the thing, we'll decide what is a better way to produce it. Is it doing a live shoot or is it like AI? And then we also have to take care of the cost, so we cannot go blind on that. But we are definitely going to try it. And in next 6 months, you will see at least on our app a lot of exploration happening across genres or across the kind of stories that we can make.
You mean you are producing more original Indian short dramas?
That's the plan for the
Oh,
coming months.
I'm just curious about the Indian market. So what does the short drama market look like in India right now, and how big is this market expected to become?
So Indian market is fairly new to short dramas, I would say. They didn't existed 6 months back. Right. And then a lot of people saw the success in China and in US and in European markets. So got excited and just like us. And now you have seen a lot of people launching their distribution apps, creating their own content. There are a lot of studios who have started making this. A lot of people are actually distributing short dramas on social platforms. It happened in China, like in Douyin. That was the starting point. So Indian market is very early, but it is growing extremely fast. Consumers are liking it. I believe it is going to be in the world. It is going to be top 3 or 4 markets of short drama ahead, just because India is such a big user base. There is so much appetite for consumption. Um, and in fact, I think within a year, you will also see Indian shows, Indian short dramas getting exported globally. So a lot is happening, and a big ecosystem is being created at the moment.
Right now, it's still the beginning of the market. It's still IAP, right? In-app purchase.
Right now, it's in-app purchase. Right now, it's also free because some individual studios are making and uploading it on YouTube. And YouTube is very popular in India. And even Instagram Reels is pretty popular in India. So some people are uploading there, which is free to watch. So we have to see it evolving. Most of the people who are launching their own apps have to like make revenue, where there's a cost of running the app. So all of that are IAPs. Uh, but in terms of business model, the leading business model is subscriptions. So people launch their apps and they are charging you a monthly subscription for unlimited watching of short dramas, and that's how the early GTM is in this Indian market.
Right now, quite a few short drama apps are emerging in India. How does DashReel
Yeah.
stand out in this competitive landscape? What are its unique advantages?
So unlike other apps, the initial launch of DashReel or any other lab app is first get the library, then get some users. And that is the first milestone. And that is where we are or the other apps are. The next important milestone for an app will be how to retain your users and make them coming back. and multiple companies are taking different approaches. And that is where I believe you will see companies moving away from each other. Everybody will try to approach the problem differently. DashReel is approaching this problem by solving for content velocity. And we believe that you will drive user retention if you can add more and more content. And there is a limit to how much content you can produce internally, right? You could do maybe 200 shows, but there is a number and it will exhaust, and you can't produce more than that. And that is why we want to follow our platform approach, where we focus on democratizing creation, where we could work with 100,000 creators in a couple of months, so that all of these combined creative intelligence can come into making short dramas and they could monetize effectively from our app. That is only way creator will be interested. So that's the approach we are taking. We are taking a platform approach where we don't produce a lot of stuff internally, but work with creators in India to produce stuff for the product, and they should get good return on their efforts and investment.
So, hi, I'm Maggie Han, founder of Short Drama Alliance. People think short dramas are innovative because it's short, more vertical. But the real game changer is paid traffic. That's what reshaped how short dramas are written. I explain this in my booklet, Short Drama Writing 101, links in the description. You co-invest or you fully funded those productions?
Right now, we are fully funding. Going forward, we'll co-invest, but end of the day and within next 12 months, our vision is to have a very transparent mechanism where we don't have to invest anything upfront. But it's creator who invest, but those who make great content make a lot of money. It's going to be a platform.
Besides competitors, have you encountered any other challenges and how are you addressing them?
The major challenge that we are encountering right now is we are very passionate about technology, but as you might know, and the world knows that AI is always in the middle. It's never 100% there. So trying to build quality content with AI becomes challenging, and we are making a lot of efforts to improve it. But to really build a product which can help any creator to get what they think in their mind is the biggest challenge. And that is the biggest threat as well, right? Because if we fail, right, then our entire thesis on how we want to build a company fails, right? So it's a very high stake game. People who will eventually use a tool should also get a greater satisfaction of making content. So it cannot be 100% automated, uh, but it cannot be so difficult to use that people have to spend a month even learning the tool. So on the supply, we are facing the major challenge. And there is no shortcut to it because if we leave that behind and start producing content ourselves, there is a limit to how much we can achieve internally. So I would say supply is the major challenge, and the way we have decided to solve for it using technology is also not easy. Right. It is also very, very intensive pressure to be able to deliver this platform to the creators.
Do you plan to expand globally? If so, which countries and why?
If we expand globally, I'm honestly not sure because what I feel is Indian content till now, and it's been 70 to 80 years of India creating content, has not been exported so well globally. If you compare it with Japan or Korea, I mean, they have been great at exporting their content. Obviously, US and Hollywood leads, and then they export their content and culture everywhere. So we are going to explore what are the markets where we have traction. I would say today the biggest traction of Indian content is from the Middle East, which is a huge market for Indian content, and then it's Europe, then it's US. But also a lot of Indian movies have found a great audience in China, right? And people like to explore it. So I think the world is open for us. We have to go step by step. We'll find a geography, build a playbook, and then plan to expand one country at a time.
Just curious, why Middle East is the biggest consumer market?
So Middle East has found so much audience of Indian content, all primarily because of Indian diaspora over there. So a lot of Indians migrated to these countries in the Middle East to work and then to, explore opportunities. And eventually the culture is, people look similar, right? So they could embed in the culture also pretty well. What happened during the last 10, 20 years that Indian content consumption in the Middle East skyrocketed, right? And a lot of shows and a lot of movies are like the biggest blockbusters in that region. So and vice versa as even in India, Turkish content has found a great audience. Right. So there is similarities in, I would say, culturally how people look, how you feel about the character. Can you relate more because the actor in the movie, and you're excited about, there is which are culturally same, but also so unique. So it's very exciting to consume that content. And that is why I think Middle East has become a unique market for Indian content at the moment.
If overseas producers or companies or content creators are interested in working with DashReel, what kind of partnerships or resources are you most looking for?
We are doing all kind of partnerships with everyone, starting with IP licensing, and we directly license short dramas for the Indian market. We are also working with a lot of companies who are doing scripting work and writing rooms. So where we understand but we don't understand so well about what is the art of writing a short drama, right? How to like make audience stick. So we work with a lot of overseas writers, especially in China, to with our concepts to write for us, and then we kind of localize it, translate it. We are also co-producing a short drama content, and we are keeping in mind the kind of content we co-produce has kind of a global appeal and can be replicated into multiple geographies. So, and also we are licensing some, pre-written scripts and, just producing them. So we are doing all kind of partnerships possible. We are very much part of the ecosystem and would love to work with anybody and everybody in whatever capacity it is possible for us to.
Didn't know you were working with Chinese writers. I thought you were working with Indian writers.
So we are trying to scale in India with the Indian writing groups, but we are also working with Chinese writers because we really think they understand this format much than we do. So how the pacing of the story should be, how the structure of a 60 episode series should be created, how many episodes should I really cover one incident. So those kind of technicalities is where we are consulting with Chinese writer to really learn this art.
Those Chinese writers write scripts or give suggestions.
So we have initially done scripts, and we have worked with Chinese writer who are bilingual, like who could give us scripts in English because English is kind of a common language which everyone understands. So we initially worked on complete scripting. And as we are going forward, we are establishing some writers' room in India, and we are trying to use them as consulting writers more. So rather than actually writing the story, they focus more on the structure and the pacing and more technical stuff on writing rather than actually writing episodes for us.
I'm just curious how they cooperate. Like some those Chinese, although they're bilingual, but they're not familiar with the Indian story or Indian cultural background, right?
Yeah, yeah. But so we start with the concept when we have an idea about the story and how do we want to structure in a 60 episode series, right? So that is a starting point. Uh, when people write episodes, we figure out, so the kind of things we realized we were doing wrong is the episodes are moving very fast. So we were jumping from like one context to another in every 2 to 3 episodes. And then when we got it reviewed, we understood it has to stay a bit longer because then for consumers, it's going to be very hard to like understand if the script is going very fast. There was a consulting writer who told us if this is your main sequence of the story, you should continue it for 10 to 12 episodes, right? And let people like really absorb it. Give more screen time to the characters rather than using more incidents. Add more dialogues. Try to build in the emotion slowly. So the pacing of the script completely changed after that suggestion. So they don't need to understand context for it. I mean, people are smart enough to understand the flow of the story, right? And how the episode construction is. And that is a skill we need today because that is something we have not produced so much of content, so we don't understand, what really works and what are the fundamentals of it. So, but actual episodes and actual kind of incidences is written by an Indian writer end of the day. And to make it happen, the only challenge is that we have to write everything in English and only work with bilingual people. And then later on, we have to translate to Indian languages. So there is a rework required, but I think it's necessary. There is so much to learn at the moment about short dramas.
I think right now the Chinese writers maybe know more good at pacing and writing
Yeah.
stories. Learning will take time. So how long will you think for an Indian or a Western writer, experienced writer, to learn about pacing, to know all about pacing, and to write their own original scripts?
I think it's more about success. There are writers. I mean, all these people are creative and smart. Uh, but you get true confidence once you see the success. Like what you wanted to deliver, you have been able to do that. Right. It's very early days, but as soon as writers will start building confidence that, okay, I wrote something, I learned it, and it really worked out for their audience, that will be the time. So not everybody, but I expect like 8 to 10% of the writers that we work with will learn this within one or two scripting. Right. Other people might take like 4 to 5 attempts to do it. So it's all about you tasting the success on your own, that something that you produced and created really worked out for an audience, and that truly builds the confidence. I have learned it, and I can now kind of compete on the quality of scripting.
Have you heard of Disney just work with drama box? That news.
Yeah, I think Disney invested in Dramabox, and they have this Disney Accelerator program where they periodically, every year they do this with 5 to 6 companies in content and media space. So that's really great. I think Dramabox will get a unique leverage over there, mixing the format with the IP behemoth that Disney is. And I'm excited. I mean, what comes out of it? So this is a like more like a investment corporate team of Disney, which is different from the IP team. But I'm also sure that once you're part of the ecosystem, you will get access to maybe work with the IP team, work with the content teams within the Disney ecosystem. Really excited what happens. Let's see. Disney has been open to trying a lot of things. They're also working with webtoons on like vertical comics, which they historically never did, but now they're doing it. So I'm excited about it.
I thought they were just cooperate. It's investment
No,
from.
it's investment and a very different team, which kind of invest in companies. It's a accelerator program that is run by Disney. It's fine. I think it's almost 8, 10 years old program. So every year they select a couple of companies where they invest. And also, it's not just only a financial investment. It's more like, financial plus strategic kind of an outcome of it. I don't really know the details because we have not participated yet or applied for it yet. We are not at that stage. It works with companies who are much mature state than us, which Dramabox is. But yeah, I mean, excited to see what happens after this. Whatever good happens in short drama, I think it works for us. So being a part of ecosystem, the good part is you are also competing with everyone, but you're also at the same time cooperating with everyone because it's a win-win situation.
So with the Hollywood giants like Disney join this short drama game, do you think like Real
Yeah.
Start or Short Max, those kind of Chinese background companies will hard for them to survive in the market?
I wish I could predict and see where it's going to go, right? Because every time a new format follows a different approach, right? Mobile content consumption is completely controlled by the companies who were never a media company, right? But today, Facebook or Google or ByteDance or Tencent controls, most of the consumption on mobile phones. What's going to happen with this format? I don't know, but one thing I'm sure that after a point and after the penetration has happened and all the users have tried it, which will be next 2 to 3 years, there is going to be a consolidation, in the industry. So many individual apps cannot, sustain a business. So there will be consolidation, especially in distribution. Uh, and supply will remain, I think, very, very different. It shouldn't be, and it must never be. Now, if Reel Short becomes the winner, or Short Max becomes the winner, or Drama Box, it's very tough to predict who takes the share of the market. But of course, I don't believe there is going to be 100 apps in next 3 to 4 years. That number will come down to under 10, which will remain maybe significant, and one or two will have the lion's share out of it.
Just read a report around 310 apps in the market.
Yeah.
The number is insane.
Yeah, I think the barrier to entry is so low that everybody can do it today. Launching an app and building an app has become so easy. Building this content initially is not so difficult, honestly. What is difficult is keep on running this successful business, keep producing the content. And that is what is impossible to sustain for a very long period of time for everyone together. Right. So I'm sure some people will do it, but not everyone can keep on doing it, keep on repeating the success of their mobile phones will be cluttered. I mean, how many apps they can have? So they will start getting indexed. Okay, like this is my favorite app, and here I get the content always. Like whenever I open this app, I find a nice content piece. Right. So I believe consolidation will happen. How quick or soon will time will tell. But in no way like so many small outlets can sustain for that long. They could be running meaningful businesses, but they won't be top of the mind in the consumer when it comes to their go-to app.
The Chinese version of TikTok is called Douyin, and they can
Yeah,
add an extension in Douyin called mini theater. I
yeah.
heard that TikTok is doing the same. They're testing this already. So if they launch this function, they have an extension and everyone can start a theater in TikTok, upload their own shows and distribute it. Do you think those apps will still survive?
I think it will become very difficult because TikTok is like the best traffic company that the world has seen. They know how to manage distribution. Right. So I believe when if that happens and it really works out, a lot of companies can still stay relevant and profitable and big. Uh, but distributing on TikTok Creator might become a major part of their strategy than running your own apps. So what has happened in China can very well happen outside China. It just can be done by a few companies. At the moment, if I say you right away, right top of my mind, obviously TikTok can do it. Obviously, Meta can pull off something like this. Google can pull off something like that. But it depends. I mean, they will really have to put in that kind of effort to pull this off and, own the distribution. I mean, it's not going to be so obvious for them. Then they will just release theater and it will happen. I'm sure TikTok will have to really work with all the content providers, really get that content velocity, really give a good incentive for the creators to publish there, right? They should be able to make money. And if it could do so much of this, and obviously they have money, but money invested in the right way is a question over there, which they have actually done in China. So I think they have a strong case.
Yeah,
And we also will have how do we strategize in that environment if that happens?
but TikTok it's banned in India.
Luckily, yes. Luckily, yes. It's so you can breathe a bit.